You saw a glimpse of what the Lord is doing in Africa for the past 20 years. So this was just 8 minutes video. At least I need 2 hours to explain that. So I'm not going to do that. So to say anything, I need time. So I'll just, couple of hundred people have asked this question, Vinoji, how did you go to Africa? So I will only answer that question. So when I was 14 years, see, this is not coming all of a sudden. When I was 14 years, in a children's meeting, Balasangam, I got a small biography about Dr. David Livingstone. More biographies are written about Dr. David Livingstone than any missionary or anybody in the world. And this was just a small one. That camp was in Vadaserikira. That was one of my first camps when I was in 9th grade. So I got it as a prize, second prize for Veda Vijnanam, Bible knowledge. So I just read that book. Since then, missionary stories have become my favorite reading. Since then, I don't know how many books I have read about the missionaries. But I never thought that I would end up in Africa. How can you imagine that from Kerala, somebody can go to Africa? But we had a desire to go to Tamil Nadu or Andhra Pradesh. That is where I did my theological studies after my college graduation. So I had a very strong desire. Still, I like Andhra Pradesh, but that was the will of the Lord. So Joy said, if it is God's will, we will go. In 2003, God sent somebody beforehand. God will always do that. John Gunnangal. How did he go? You saw an uncle. His name is, that big, it's not 2023, it was way before, that date is. So he went in 2000 by reading I think it's a small magazine. So it went from Nigeria to Kenya, somebody got it. These are the people from Australia sending that. So they just send a request. So please come to Kenya. And he did not notice. Albert Fairweather, a full-time worker in Australia. Then again, brothers have called him. Just send a message. Please come and help us, like a Macedonian call. When he got that call second time, went in 2000. How old was he? 30 years? 40 years? 65 years in his retirement. See, I salute the commitment of this kind of people. He went there by faith. Just with $5,000, he just bought an old truck, made it into a small caravan. 500 kilometers. Nairobi is a very big city. He landed in Nairobi, capital of Kenya. He got this, he made a small caravan. It's more like a small, it's not RV, we cannot call it. And he went into the interiors of Western Kenya. There is no toilet, there is no fresh water, there's no drinking water, there's nothing. Can you imagine a 65-year-old born and brought up in Australia? But he was all excited to share the gospel and also the New Testament pattern. Very strong. And that was in 2000. So as a result of that, many churches, assemblies have been formed. So it is then that John Gunnangal going to Australia. So he called, John, you're very close to Kenya. Why don't you come? He did not answer because going to Africa, it's not easy. After many calls, he started praying and thinking. He went in 2003. But 2002, we made a decision that we are going out of the comfort zone. Then we were at the peak of the ministries, teaching in Bible schools, camps and conferences, writing books, conducting youth camps and children's ministry. Well settled at Kottayam. Some people thought that we are very crazy. Why these people are going? They are working for the Lord here in Kerala, in Kottayam, a nice city. But our desire, because Joe is also committed to be a full-time. We were there in Kottayam 10 years, and that was a preparation for us. And we started praying in 2002. We shared the same thing to John Gunangle. He said that we will pray for that. I never thought that he is going to Kenya. So in 2003, he went. And when he came back, he was with all excitement. And he spoke 1 hour in Puthupalli church. 1 hour. Usually he speak only 5 minutes wherever he goes. He goes around the world. Just 5 minutes, 3 minutes. That day he spoke 1 hour about Kenya ministries, his excitement. So I used to tell Baja that all that excitement was for us because we were ready, right, to go. And he said that then you pray. Next year, the same man goes to Albert Fairweather. He usually goes for 3 months. June, July, August. Those are the summer months there. He takes this car. Some brothers takes care of it. Then he takes it from Nairobi. He goes to the interior. Then after 1 year prayer, I ended up with him. I stayed with him 1 month in the tent. He will stay in the caravan. There is a tent pulled out into, we used to stay there, cook there, carry the food. There's no fresh water. There's no toilet. Being born in India, I couldn't go to those kind of toilet. Then imagine that, man. Leaving his own family, wife. And that was the starting point. So God has guided us. We ended up as a family within 3 months in Nairobi. So that was 2005. We made a visit in 2018, landed in Mombasa, the second city, tourist town of Kenya. So as a family, we went from Kerala, 2004, December 13. 3 weeks, almost 3 weeks we were in Dubai because brothers have invited us. If you are passing through, please come. So 2005, January 5th, we ended up in Nairobi. So looking back 20 years, and that was the most happiest day in my life after getting saved and after getting married and those kinds of things. I was so excited. And that is how we ended up. Just one more word about that gentleman. He's 89 years old. We think that if you go to Africa and take risk, if we give our body to hospitality and take care of things that other people don't take care, we usually think that our health will be lost. It is the other way. Joyce had so many problems. With her health, it would have been difficult for us to go. Our small children had 5 and 8 years, a lot of physical problems. But that didn't happen in Africa. People discouraged us. At least Julia, you just keep in Kottayam. You go because she gets sick. She never got sick in Africa. Thank the Lord. So he came 65 years. He worked there 10 years. About 50 assemblies have been started. He's 89 years. He still drives to his, Kurabi assembly. We went there last year, New Zealand, Australia. Our main purpose was to see this uncle. So I told this uncle, what all you started, what all we started. We started about, God has helped us to start about 20 assemblies and about 20 workers in Kenya, Tanzania, Malawi. So it's all in your credit because you are the one who went in 2000. Then God has sent John Gurian. Because God has sent John Gurian, so we went there in 2004. Then some other people also, missionaries also went. You saw somebody in the picture, somebody else from Dallas, happy still in Kenya, after we went 2 years. And it was adventurous. It was a very faith journey. And we, as I said yesterday, we went to die. We did not know anybody. There was no communication. And even people who used to write emails to us when we went to Kenya, they all stopped thinking that we'll ask for money. But 20 years, we never asked money to anybody. That was Joy's decision when she took a decision after she finished her graduation, college studies. That was my decision. We never asked. How many things we have done in Kenya and also in Malawi. So now we have in Malawi, you saw it, 10 solid assemblies, about 20 local workers, about 12 acres of land, a big mission center. You saw how the mission center was started. That was my vision. That's what I read from the mission stories and missionaries' life. They used to go to a place, buy a small land, start a mission center, invite all the kids, and probably in a village. We want to be in a village. So God has blessed. I don't have words to explain, but one thing I can say that it's all God's doing. It is impossible to man, but it is possible with God. Even to go to one foreign country, unknown country, a strange country, and start something there. See, people are not favorable to us. We need to find everything from zero. And God did it. We thank God for that. It is not in our ability. It is not within our resources, but God has everything. And we had only desire. We made ourselves available to God. So God used it, and so many hundreds of people praying. Even when we travel, people say that, Vinoji Joyce, we are praying for you daily. Even we do not know them. Only when we travel, we started hearing about that. That was all recent. As I told you, Kenya was our first country. Yeah, this last trip was a 46th visit to Malawi. It's amazing. Malawi is a very poor country. It's the sixth poorest country in the world. But anybody who is going there, whether as a tourist, whether as a missionary, whether for a mission trip, whether for business, there are so many foreign people to do business and all. You will love to go there one more time. It is known as the warm heart of Africa, one of the most friendliest countries in the world. They will make you very comfortable. English is the official language. Many other people do. We speak we can communicate the basic language, the Chichewa, but most of our workers and everybody speak English. So English is heavily used in that country. It is the official language. So because of time, I'm not going to dare to say anything else. There are so many things are going through your mind. You may have so many questions, right? I don't know. If you have any one or two questions, I can take it up for you. Do you have any question?
In the past few years, did we have any church or somebody coming out there to help you guys with your ministries, or how is it?
Oh, yes. In Kenya, there were assemblies. So, but we started our own, with the help of our brothers. Yeah, over the years, 20 years, there are so many people coming. Even now, people are coming to help us. A short time, just for 2 weeks. Okay. Yeah, they are a blessing. We don't have any social. It's like zero. So only our people say that, they called me Uncle Vinoji. They called Joyce Mama Joyce. Mama and Uncle are very happy when his people are coming, singing and talking loud and Malayalam, the heavenly language, they hear that, that's only so, because we stay in the village and we don't want to there are so many Indians. And our ministry is in the village. We don't want to make friendship with so many Indian people in the city, because that's not our purpose. If we do that, our time and energy will go for that. We are typically in the village ministries, encouraging the people, sharing the gospel and teaching them. If we go for other things, we are not in a city. City is close. So that's why we have zero social, because we have limited time, 2 months, 3 months, 5 months, 6 months. It is like a crash course. You know what it is, crash course. So it's like 7 days a week, maybe like 8 hours a day. That's all. But no, what is that? We call it what when you punching? Clock in, clock out. There's no, this is a job that we love to do. So we don't feel bored, but we get tired sometimes. We get sickness in our body. We think, what is this? There is no sickness actually. This is all devil's attack. As soon as you reach there 4 or 5 days, or otherwise 1 week, you have no strength, jet lag. And I think so many times, how I am going to do the ministry, But after a few days, we get over that with the strength of God. That's why we need a lot of prayers. I have only 10 minutes, but don't worry. That's the only question? Yeah, we have people coming. So we are going in end of January from here. We are stopping in Dublin and Manchester.
Did you get ever discouraged coming back from there
Coming back means?
to India like that? No. While serving God over there, did you get discouraged?
Oh, yeah, every time. If we get 2 encouragement, we get 3 discouragement. But it's always like that. Mission work, in a pioneer work, in a strange place with the new people, new culture, new custom. It's always like that. But God is always there to encourage us. It may not be the people. God is always there to encourage you. But the prayers of the people are so much strength for us. Yeah. So I don't need to worry about time because I was asked to continue the same message even the next session also. So you may have other questions, but in between and all you can ask. So in Gwinnett, our people were studying the book of Ephesians. When we went last time to Malawi, so I just started with the introduction. Then our people continued. When we came back, they finished. And book of Ephesians is my favorite book in the whole Bible. So we started teaching that in Malawi also. We are in chapter 3. So I just thought of sharing something from the book of Ephesians. So right now, within 10 minutes, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to give an introduction about the book of Ephesians. Book of Ephesians is known as the mini Bible. Why it is known as the mini Bible? You check, it has all the doctrines that you are looking for. And any truth you want to know, about the theology, it is there. So it is known as the mini Bible. The history, how a church was started in that big city of Ephesus. It is written in Acts chapter 19 and 20. And Paul, in his 18 years, 20 years of ministry, maybe 18 years, we don't know exactly. So this is a place that he went most of his time, or otherwise, 3 years, more than any other place. 3 solid years he spent there. And it has been our desire to see the city because I do a lot of study about Ephesians and the city. So last time when we were coming back from Malawi, God has allowed us to go to the city of Ephesus and some other biblical cities also like Athens and Patmos. And we study a lot about the city, but what you understand going and visiting that city, it makes more sensible. It was the second most biggest city in the whole Roman Empire that time. You know that Roman Empire, it was spreading the whole world. After Rome, this was the largest city, the capital of Asia Minor. No wonder that Apostle Paul focused in that region within 100 kilometers, and there were 100 plus churches. The 7 churches in the Asia Minor in the book of Ephesians, in the Revelation, were just taken as sample churches to represent all those 100 churches, in that area, called Asia Minor. We know that he loved this church. He taught them very specifically. So they were able to grasp the theology and the practical things in a very deep way. See, the city of Ephesus is near an ocean. So it is naturally, there's a natural harbor. It's naturally protected by, it's like 2, mountains. Front side, it is ocean. So for enemies, it is very difficult for them to come and conquer. So in olden days, cities were chosen like that. But when you go there now, Kusadasi, that's all right, Kusadasi. So there's a town, big city, Kusadasi. We should go there, and further we go into there 30 kilometers. There are a lot of people staying. But where this has happened, the focal point of the book of Ephesians, the city of Ephesus, it is in ruins now. Not many people are staying there. It is just kept for archaeology and other. purpose. So today there is no sea. I just asked our guide, so what happened to the sea? Because there was a natural harbor. It was the meeting point of east and west. There was a market which was one of the largest in the whole world. So people from the east and west all used to come to sell their merchandising things. So what happened to the harbor? So he said that was a tragedy for the city of Ephesus. So 3 kilometers further, you can see the sea. So one few earthquakes have happened. We have heard about that city of Ephesus, right? In one of the earthquakes, what has happened? The water was just driven away. It was taken back. So the whole place has been 3-4 kilometers. It has become a very swampy place. As a result of that, that natural harbor, ships cannot get close. So as a result of few earthquakes, the harbor is lost, and they lost 80% of the people. 500,000 people used to stay when Paul was writing this. Is it a big city or small city? 500,000 people in the first century, when people are not filled in this earth, it is one of the biggest cities in the whole world. So 80% of the population lost because of this earthquake, because no more viable, no more able for the big ships to come, no more able to do their merchandising things. And together with that, malaria also came. Between earthquake and malaria, the city lost its prominence. This city was known for 900 years, from 900 BC. Can you imagine that? See, Paul chose a place, strategic places. We also need to, for the sake of the gospel, we need to choose the strategic places. He used to go to the cities and spread the gospel, because in a city like Ephesus, in a city like Rome, in a city like Corinth, people from all over the world, right? That is why America is a melting pot of cultures. So here there are people from all over the world, 200 countries. I haven't seen people, from all over the world in any other country like America. You go to Atlanta, you go to Chicago, you go to Los Angeles, you go to New York. That, because of that, when we start a church or anything, we shouldn't be in the comfortable zone like starting a group of our own. No, we should aim for much bigger thing, even other nationalities. That's the way it can stand. So Paul did like that. So many things here. City of Ephesus. There was a market known as Agora. That was one of the biggest market. To enter into that market, see, to be a Christian in the city of Ephesus, you had to pay high price, because people bring their merchandising things, and there it is known for which goddess? City of goddess of Artemis or Diana, right? So they put a statue of Diana there. Anybody who is, even now that Agora remains, it's a big market. People come from all over the world with costly things, Eastern things, spices, so many things. They have to bow down before that idol. Do you think that Ephesian believers will do that? They would never do that. So Ephesian believers had no opportunity to go into that Agora market to sell or buy their stuff. Then how did they survive? Maybe they use a second or third source, paying more money, getting less money. Even now that is there. There was a library which was the third largest in the whole Roman kingdom, or that Grecian thing. Celsus. It remains, that building, 5-story like, it is still there. The first one was in Alexandria, with millions of books. Second one was in Pergamum. That is maybe 100,000. The third one was in Celsus, which had got 30,000 books. When they heard the gospel in that arena, that is still there, there was a big commotion, because over Demetrius, right? He was making the idols. He made a big commotion. This strange man, this man not belonging to our city, he is coming and taking away our business. What business? Idol making was the biggest business. Even now you can see all big atomies, small atomies, it's, in the medium ones, all kinds of that. It is broken, So that was the biggest business. So they sent Paul out. But gospel has worked. So many people got saved. We know about that, right? So they God worked miracles also. So they put it on fire. So today's $50,000 worth of books, they put it on fire because they knew the gospel. It was all about witchcraft. It was all about idolatry. It was all about Artemis. So it was one of the difficult cities. That is why God did so many miracles. This, what is it called? Uttariyam. What is that? That towel fallen from Apostle Paul. People touching it, people getting saved. So people try to duplicate that, replicate that today. That is wrong. That was the only time that even through Paul, so many miracles have happened, not later, because it was needed. God did that. Okay. In a place like that today, where there is no gospel, like Iran and all I have heard, God is working mainly through the dreams and vision, because nobody can go there and share the gospel. Hundreds of Muslims are getting saved. One after another, God is confirming them the gospel through visions and dreams. When that happens, they are very strong. You imagine, there's no other way. North Korea, if you hold this Bible, they will shoot you down. Anybody who has a Bible without anything, they will shoot you down. God does his miracles in those cities. It's not general, it is exceptional. We can call it. God even now God does that. So many things there. Maybe because of time, let me is it time? 9:50, right? So maybe I can continue in the next session more about city of Ephesus, how the church was started, how God used that place, how the warnings and everything. Okay, thank you so much.